Hi, it's John Cronshaw here with my author diary for the week ending June the 1st, 2025. I'm back again with more questions. I don't know what I've done this week because I've intentionally had this week off. So hopefully I'm well rested. Hopefully I've been to a spa day, had afternoon tea. That's the plans. So all being well, I'll have done that and it'll be great. Back with Claire again. We've moved on so much since the last episode.
Same t-shirts.
Yeah, we just
It's
don't.
not really filmed in the same days last week.
I was going to say we just don't wash our clothes. But yeah, so what have we got then? We've got the Facebook questions now. So yeah, last week we had the patrons. Now we have the Facebook ones. So what have we got, Claire?
Okay, Maureen asks, when you're writing, do you somewhat follow your outline or do you allow it to veer wildly if that's what happens?
Yeah, so I do outline, and my outline usually goes out the window by the time I finish the first chapter. So I like to have marker posts, and I like to keep editing my outline as I go. And yeah, I do diverge, but it's really good to kind of have a vision of where I'm going, and then the characters kind of intervene, and I kind of follow them as well. So it's not quite a discovery writing, it's not quite outlining, it's kind of somewhere in between.
Okay. So Maureen also says, I won't ask where your ideas originate, but how they do. For example, I often pick up ideas and solve problems beautifully in that half sleep state before becoming fully awake in the morning. Something will come, a scene, a whole story, sometimes just a name. I keep a device beside my bed so I can write the ideas down. So, similar?
No, you know I'm like in the morning, Claire.
Yeah,
Do you think I get any ideas at that time?
absolutely not.
No. So yeah, to be honest, I'm the opposite there. I'm more of a nighttime person. I might come up with ideas at like 11:30 at night. But I think most of my ideas are just like being out and about, like going on walks, walking along the seafront or around the park, or like going around museums or wherever. Just being out and about. And if I've got a problem to solve in a story, then I try not to think about it, or maybe have a shower or something. But yeah, I try not to do it too consciously because it's not a really conscious thing, if that makes sense.
And you've said that you don't write things down because you want to see if they're sticky enough ideas that they just pester you enough
Yeah,
to kind of stay with you. So that's part of the process too, isn't it? Like deliberately letting some ideas fall by the wayside.
yeah, because I get too many ideas. I get a lot of ideas all the time, and it's just yeah, I can't do all the ideas. So it's the ones where I'm just like, I can't shake that. I need to do something with that. And I'll give you an example of that is the Guild of Assassins series. Like I wasn't going to write that, but I could not get Soren out of my head, and I still can't. So I've ended up writing like quite a few short stories with Soren, who was just meant to be the bad guy in Dawn of Assassins. Ended up writing a trilogy with him, and that is just because yeah, couldn't shake him out of my head. So yeah, that's what happens.
All right. Um, Still from Maureen. Are there any parts of your writing that you feel are stronger, and any you wish you had a better handle on?
Um, I'm going to ask that to you, Claire,
Oh.
as my editor. So you could probably answer that better than I can because I think my stuff is in equal parts awesome and crap. So
Um, so you're good at overall structure and direction and pace, and the dialogue's really natural, and the voices are really, really clear. Any you wish you had a better handle on? So you're getting me to critique your
well,
writing.
you see what I really am. So
Well, what do we work on? We work on things like echoes, because John's forever having people nodding, and then when I pointed out nodding, he stopped doing nodding, but then
then
put
everyone
something
shrugs
else.
or something.
Yeah, it was something else in
Yeah,
its place, or something to do with eyes or something. So I think that's the thing. I think because of the way that John writes, where with him working on different projects at different times, he sometimes forgets like phrases he's already used,
mm.
and they come up. But that's not really like writing. That's just a kind of
Yeah,
something that the editor should be dealing with. It's not really anything that's like a bad thing about your style or anything.
Yeah.
I think your voice has really developed over time, so...
Yeah, I kind of avoid romance. Well, romantic scene, like I don't mind a bit of a romantic subplot, but I don't tend to I don't do kissing scenes or...
So you wish you had a better handle on...
Yeah, because sex is a part of life, and I just think it'd be good to kind of feel comfortable doing that. But yeah, I just don't, so I don't. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And Maureen says, how much of your video series is scripted? As in this, does she mean?
Yeah.
Versus off the cuff.
Well, it's all off the cuff. Yeah, I don't have a plan. I just hit record. This is the most scripted one I've ever done because we've printed off the questions. But yeah, that's it. I usually just talk and that's it.
Yeah. So 2 questions now from Gabriel. Gabriel says, I remember you sharing that you are legally blind. So how do you write start to finish? What tools do you use?
Yeah, so I mean mainly, things like what is it? Dictation is good. So yeah, dictated novels, and then I've got a bit of vision. I've got like 5% vision in my good eye, so I've got Microsoft Word set up. It's like dark mode, 16 font, and yeah, I just kind of work through it. But then the issue that I've had in the past is with working with editors, because I can't deal with things like track changes and things like that, which is where Claire comes in. She's a trained professional editor, and obviously she has her own clients and all that stuff. But when she manages to fit me in, she does my stuff, and we can chat about the stupid sentence or whatever, or when she's confused about something that I've written, and then it turns out that it's nonsense. So
yeah, so just to jump in, that's partly why I trained in the first place, because John did use editors that weren't me initially, hired the professionals, but then when that turned out to be too difficult, I had a background in English teaching, I've always been good with language and everything, but I thought, well, I want to make sure he's having a professional job, not just my wife's editing my, having a read of my stuff. So that's when I did the training, and it was to do with your eyes and thinking, well, let's work out a way for our family to do this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Team effort.
And now you're doing your editing full time, which is awesome.
I am for other people now, so that's cool. This isn't meant to be about me, right? So back to you. Gabriel then asks, well, yeah. Oh, sorry. No, it's to do with that actually, but maybe you've got something to say about this. The reason Gabriel asked about the whole legally blind thing and like how you manage that is because Gabriel has hand pain and can barely use his hands to write. So there are ways around most things.
Yeah, so dictation is definitely the way forward. I use a thing called Dragon. I'm sure there's probably better ones now, but that's the one that I use, and I like to record directly onto my phone and then kind of have Dragon process the audio. There's probably better ones if you're happy to kind of sit at a computer. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you'll have to have a look.
And that's it. That's episode
401.
And that's your questions from your Facebook people.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks to everyone who asked questions, and thank you, Claire, for reading them for me. That's really appreciated. So, yeah, until next time, cheerio.